Today's video is very special, not only because the subject is different from others, but because of the news that I bring to you. Here in the first link in the description and comments, you will see our recently launched exclusive channel store, the STOICUS store. Made with great care, I bring exclusive products from the Stoic philosophy, such as t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and much more to come. Please, if you like the content on this channel and apply Stoic principles to your life, be sure to check out our store. For any questions and more details, join us in the Telegram group. There you will have closer contact with the channel. The link is also below. Now, without further ado, let's get to our video. Once there was a writer who specialized in creating thought-provoking essays on various subjects. Through hard work and seemingly endless creativity, she managed to publish numerous pieces that captivated her readers. However, one day she found herself in a creative slump, unable to find any inspiration for her next writing endeavor. She contemplated different topics, but none seemed to resonate. She scoured her bookshelves and searched the internet, but to no avail. A sense of panic crept in, as she feared she had exhausted her ideas or fallen victim to writer's block. Yet after taking a deep breath, she made the conscious choice to let it go for a while and divert her attention to other pursuits. Strangely enough, while strolling through a serene forest without any intention of conjuring up a subject or even thinking about her writing aspirations, an idea unexpectedly came to mind. And thus, she came to realize that when she ceased trying so hard, what she was looking for arose effortlessly. The writer experienced a curious paradox. She wanted to be productive, but the more she tried, the less she could. Only when she ceased caring and lifted the enormous pressure of needing to be productive off her shoulders was she able to write again. So, striving and effort do not always get us what we want. Moreover, these things can work against us. What's going on here? Author Aldous Huxley first described the law of reverse effect, stating, and I quote, "The harder we try with the conscious will to do something, the less we shall succeed." End quote. So, could it really be that when we stop consciously trying to succeed, we increase our chances of success? Will results come once we stop caring? This video explores the law of reverse effect, also known as the law of reversed effort. Don't miss the chance to master your emotions. Grab the self-knowledge ebook now. Click the link in the first pinned comment and unlock your true potential. Long ago in ancient China, a merchant met a sage who, he heard, was one of the wisest people alive. The merchant tried to impress the sage by telling him how much money he had made in his latest trade deal. The sage nodded but didn't seem too impressed. Then, he invited the sage to visit him to see his enormous house and all the riches he had accumulated over the years. But the sage still wasn't impressed. Instead, he asked the merchant why he wants to impress him so much by showing off his stuff. As the merchant didn't understand the question, the sage reminded him of the words of Lao Tzu, saying, "Those who try to outshine others dim their own light. Those who call themselves righteous can't know how wrong they are. Those who boast of their accomplishments diminish the things they have done." End quote. We have been taught that accomplishment requires effort. However, with many aspects of life, effort can also be counterproductive. As for the merchant, he sought the sage's approval, but the more he tried, the less he could impress him. The sage reminded us that the more we force our accomplishments upon others, the less we shine. Why must we continually remind others if we have accomplished so much? People grow suspicious of those who need to boast, brag, and take the spotlight as much as possible. What are they trying to prove? Are they compensating for something? It seems they need to convince the world of their value. Paradoxically, the more we feel the need to convince the world of our value, the less value we believe the world thinks we have, which is likely evident. If the merchant hadn't been so eager to impress, he could have let his accomplishments speak for themselves when the moment of their revelation arose. This would have impressed the sage more, not just because of the achievements themselves, but also because not needing to brag says something about the merchant's character, that he's humble and secure within himself. He's also detached, to some extent, from external objects like wealth and status. So the law of reverse effect struck again. He sabotaged his desired results by caring too much about the sage's opinion. Concerning our psychological well-being, the law of reverse effect also appears to be at work. We experience that by trying to control our mental states, we often obstruct ourselves. In his blog, The Runaway Mind, Professor David Clark shares how excessive effort can hinder us in overcoming emotional distress. He asks the reader if they have ever choked under pressure, for example, during a contest, exam, or job interview. He stated, "You may have spent a long time preparing for this moment. You reminded yourself repeatedly that you had to do your best. You could feel the intense pressure. All your attention and energy were channeled into your performance. With great effort and determination, you stepped forward, but then disaster struck. You blew it. You messed up and experienced one of the most shameful moments in your life." End quote. According to Clark, the mental control paradox also applies to overcoming emotional distress. Trying too hard to halt negative thinking, for instance, often backfires, amplifying our negativity. When we fall prey to the mental control paradox, we realize that the more we attempt to govern our thinking, the less successful we are in doing so. This aligns with the law of reverse effect. Clark cites scientific research demonstrating that humans aren't proficient in thought suppression compared to thought creation. But the law of reverse effect also appears to work the other way around, referring to the story at the beginning of this video. The flow of creativity and mental control often don't mix. Although people are adept at generating thoughts, compelling ourselves to conjure a creative solution, idea, or inspiration to advance our creative endeavors often doesn't work. The more we try, the less successful we are. The versatile artist and teacher Julia Cameron wrote in her book The Artist's Way, "All too often we try to push, pull, outline, and control our ideas instead of letting them grow organically. The creative process is a process of surrender, not control. Mystery is at the heart of creativity. That and surprise." End quote. We often experience our creativity flourishing when we're not seeking it. For instance, during a relaxing moment in the shower, during a forest walk, and just before bed. During those moments when we have ceased caring about it, the idea we were looking for emerges spontaneously. The ancient Taoists observed that when we're too preoccupied with the outcome, we're likely to sabotage our performance. The story in the Taoist scripture Zhuangzi about the nervous archer who shot perfectly during practice but couldn't perform during a tournament when competing for a prize illustrates how caring too much about the result works against us. When we care too much about the outcome, whatever we're doing, we feel tense. Even though we're usually perfectly capable of performing the task, a sense of urgency is involved. Our minds are preoccupied with the future and may even dwell in the past, contemplating, for example, past mistakes. So we can say that in these moments, in fact, we're not present in. We might believe that the more we worry about the task and its consequence, the more control we gain, and the more chance we have to succeed. But the opposite is true. The more we worry, the more we try to control, the more likely our performances will suffer. This is where the law of reverse effect becomes evident once again. The more we care about achieving success, the more it eludes us. When we care too much about the outcome, we are likely to push ourselves in ways that eventually impede our progress. The ancient Taoists understood how people could obstruct their own path when striving to achieve something. Instead of pushing hard, they advocated for Wu Wei, or effortless action. Athlete Christopher Berglund, in an article in Psychology Today, explains how the state of optimal performance, also known as the zone, paradoxically emerges when we don't strive for it. He states, "It may seem counterintuitive, but a non-striving mindset, also known as Wu Wei, increases an athlete's chances of getting in the zone, performing effortlessly, and winning. The paradox of Wu Wei is that striving less, not trying harder to win at all costs, often generates more success. When we delve into the mental state of effortless action, or being in the zone, we discover that this state of being, or state of doing for that matter, is characterized by a lack of discursive thoughts about the past and the future. Although Wu Wei likely leads to results, these results are not the primary focus. The desired outcomes may be in the back of our minds, but our attention is fully absorbed in the task at hand. The task even ceases to feel like a task. It's as if the pianist becomes the musical piece, the writer becomes the novel, and the soccer player becomes the game. When there's no worry about future achievements or ruminations about past failures, one's performance isn't disturbed by these thoughts. It seems that this absence enhances performance. Hence, we could say that once we stop caring, results come. The mental and physical obstacles we create for ourselves as a consequence of caring about the outcome disappear. They no longer obstruct pure and responsive action in the present, action that effortlessly interplays with present circumstances. For example, we must be responsive to our environment to drive a car. Everything that unfolds in the environment is unprecedented and unique to that specific moment. There are patterns and generalizations, of course, but when we examine the details, what's happening on a particular highway, the cars, the people in those cars, their actions and thoughts and their reactions, is a unique, unprecedented symphony that we cannot cognitively predict. We can only rely on our driving skills and ability to respond well to everything that unfolds. However, our minds tend to try to control the future by creating detailed predictions and then constantly rehearsing these fantasies and our responses to them. But when the moment we've prepared ourselves for arrives, we realize that our detailed blueprints have become pretty useless. Moreover, all these thoughts and mental preparations prevent us from responding to what's actually happening. However, if we release this firewall of thoughts, we create space to let the environment influence us. This allows us to respond to what actually happens rather than what we anticipate. Philosopher Dr. Wei-Lian Chong underlines the significance of openness in the context of Wu Wei. He states, "No matter if it's about politics, governance, diplomacy, or any other activity, what Zhuangzi calls Wu Wei is this ultimate receptive and responsive way of action, stemming from a crystal-clear openness within oneself, harmonizing with the breath of the cosmos." End quote. Whether we consider the mental control paradox or the Taoist concept of Wu Wei, these notions demonstrate how our thoughts can obstruct our path. The more we care about something, the more we tend to worry and ruminate, hindering our ability to act in ways that could lead to success. This aligns with the law of reverse effect. By releasing our concern about the outcome, we increase the likelihood of achieving the desired result. Results don't manifest merely by fixating on them or fiercely desiring them. They come through actions. Paradoxically, the more we become fixated on the desired results, the less likely we are to act in ways that contribute to achieving them. Caring too much about the results is akin to the archer in Zhuangzi's story Trembling, a soccer player missing a penalty, or a writer being unable to write. And that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, check your subscription to the channel, leave a like and share it with someone. Be sure to check out our store here at the first link in the description and in the comments. As usual, comment "Dare me" if you watch to the end. Remember that I read all the comments and I will see you commenting. For your attention, thank you very much. May everyone be with the Creator.